All right, so John Stauffer for the Ogilvy blog. I'm with Brian Smith, who is getting his doctorate in communications with the PR track here at the University of Maryland. We are at a social media roundtable, and I caught up with Brian and just wanted to ask him a few thoughts. He's obviously studying this kind of stuff, is in the weeds of social media, and wanted to know if he had any thoughts on any kind of quantitative trends that you've discovered, or anything that you think is kind of worth mentioning out there.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of research with regard to how PR works with bloggers and vice versa. Kind of looking at the angles that PR people take. And I'm finding that people kind of mix emotions from practitioners. On the one hand, a lot of practitioners think that you can just treat them the same way, like journalists. You can mass email things out. But others are saying, well, you've got to take it at a more interpersonal level. It's not like working with journalists where you can just keep sending press releases, and bloggers don't necessarily know that quote-unquote game.
Right.
So they have to take more of a personal level. But from the blogger side, I was also interested in looking at how bloggers might consider corporate information on their personal blogs. And I thought they'd be against it, but I find people actually don't mind it. They kind of like the fact that they get some of this attention from corporate, though they prefer that it's more about what they want to write about, not forced to write about certain things.
That it has an appeal for their readers.
Yeah, that it appeals for the readers. There's a lot of self-interest there too. If it's really something they're talking about, they prefer that people have been reading their blogs. They don't just jump in and start talking about what they want to talk about.
Right.
They know that the content. I've seen experiences where there's been one blog in particular. They'll take pitch letters that are pretty bad, and they'll post them online and make fun of them.
Right.
So they really want you to know your stuff when you go into it.
Absolutely. And so, Brian, we're here with a lot of students, obviously, as you can tell.
Yeah.
You obviously work with a lot of students. What would you say to any kind of aspiring agency folks, seniors that may be getting ready to graduate, or what's kind of your take on this next generation of social media pros?
I think they're in the beginnings. I think I teach a lot of them. We talk about blogs, talk about getting involved with social media, and there's a lot of training that needs to go on in both academic and professional. Sometimes people feel like that they're thrown in and they have to work with it with no experience whatsoever, no training. It's a different beast, as you know.
Right.
And I'm not quite sure that we're still training them enough to be able to be efficient in the blog area. And I think some things like that you've talked about in the past, getting involved with RSS, understanding what that really is one of the biggest things they need to understand.
That's great. Thanks a lot. You've been really helpful.
Thank you.
All right.